welcome. Good morning. Good Sunday morning. Good Super Sunday morning. Good Super Bowl Sunday morning. I got there eventually. I knew I'd get all the words in. It's the Super Sunday Sports Show right here on the Inside Edge Network. We're brought to you by LPV Productions. I'm your host. I'm Chad Bryan. I've got my buddies Ryan Moster and TK Dandridge with me as always. This is a big Sunday, you guys. There's a football game later today. Have you guys heard about this?
Yeah, pretty big game today.
We're going to talk about it. We'll get to it eventually. We're obviously going to break down all things Super Bowl. But first, it's the Super Bowl 60. How in the world are we on Super Bowl 60? I'm old. I remember Super Bowl -11. That's the first one I grew up watching. I think the first Super Bowl I think the first Super Bowl I watched was like Super Bowl 20. Phil Simms started off on fire. I think he started off like 18 of 18 in that game, whatever. But that's the first Super Bowl that I actually have a memory of. The year before that, I think would have been the Bears and Patriots, if I'm putting those right in chronological order. I don't know. I'm old. It's hard to tell. Anyway, we're on Super Bowl 60, and we'll obviously talk about that. We will get to that as we go here. But first, let's just start locally, because last night was a big night, and you see TK, he's got the some wine and gold, the old school blue on. I saw a post the other day that they were like, LeBron James has actually been in the league so long, playing against the Cavaliers team that's wearing a throwback that he himself debuted, and those are the jerseys. I love that. That was great, man. I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Over 2 decades in the league, but that doesn't matter. The Cavaliers, well, it does matter. Just that's not what we're talking about right now. Cavaliers, James Harden made his Cavs debut last night. And Travis Scott apparently made his Cavs debut as well. He was on the floor for a few seconds. Not sure if he got any shots off. Seemed like he was in the game. Don't know. That was weird. Anyway, what'd you guys think, man? Cavs, Kings, James Harden, everything. Did it look the way you expected it to? I mean, TK, you got the jersey on. I feel like you're probably pretty hyped. I'll start with you.
Yeah, he looked great. I mean, I thought early on, he did a lot of, feeling out, seeing, who likes what would work for him. He said, right before the game, you guys just do what you do. As the game goes on, I'm going to figure it out. He absolutely figured it out. Finished the game with 23 points and 8 assists. Basically did as usual. He's averaging 25 points per game, 8 assists, 5 boards when he was with the Clippers. Pretty much did the same thing that he did with them. So I don't expect every night to be like this, but I do expect the offense to run a little bit more smoothly. We can get the ball through Harden. Donovan Mitchell had a huge fourth quarter last night. Finished the game with 35 points. He started very slow. He likes to sleepwalk some of these lesser games that aren't too important. I don't think they were pretty hyped to play, the Sacramento Kings. I mean, there's really nothing to prove there. But at the same time, I do love the way this backcourt looks. Jalen Tyson continues to be solid as a starter. Can't wait to get a fully healthy roster back here. We've heard about the number change for Max Struz. We'd love to welcome him back. Yeah. This team looks pretty good. It's just one game. Let's not get too crazy about it. But I'm a little beyond that right now. But it looked great. We're ready for some more. See what happens, man.
Yeah, I think Harden was 5 of 8 on threes or whatever. I mean, you said TK. I think that's what we want to hear from him, right? You guys do what you do. I'll figure it out. That was the hope, right? We didn't want him to come in and be like, "Hey, I'm the guy. Everything runs through me." That would have been bad, right? But Ryan, yeah, I mean, that's what you want to hear from James Harden, right? Just come in, veteran presence. Do what you do. I'll be on the floor. I'll figure it out. I'll score some. I'll hit some buckets here and there. I mean, like I said, 5 of 8 from 3-point line. That's nice. Ryan, did it kind of meet your expectations? I don't know how much of the game you got to watch, but I mean, I feel like it went pretty well, right?
Yeah, I mean, I am in favor of this trade. I went in extent detail on my other podcast, the Voice of the Land podcast. Yeah. Go check out this last episode. But honestly, I mean, I loved it, and I mean, he didn't really have a good debut. He delivered the exact blueprint of what the Cavaliers went out and got him for. I mean, in his first night wearing wine and gold, the guy put up 23 points, 8 assists, 5 threes, 5 of 8, like you said. I mean, the real story is like how he kind of made the team change how they operate a little bit. Like he immediately, I think, became the adult, especially the offensive adult. From the moment he checked in, the offense looked organized. Harden controlled pace. He got the Cavs into real actions and then created clean looks without forcing anything really. It's really the structure that Cleveland has been missing for 2 straight postseasons. I know it's one game. I know it's the Kings. I get it, but like it's still really good to see. His shooting threat opened the floor up in a way that Garland never consistently did, especially, since he's been off the floor. Going 5 from 8 from deep wasn't just a hot night. It was a reminder of how much gravity Harden brings, Sacramento had to respect his pull up and that space immediately freed up Donovan Mitchell to attack without seeing 2 bodies every possession. So I really think it's a good pickup. I think that he's going to continue to elevate Mitchell and Mobley as he did yesterday instantly. He'll consistently do that. Mitchell dropping 35, Harden dropping 23. That's a fun team right there, guys. So
yeah, exactly what we said. I mean, he was the adult in the room, right? Like we wanted him to come in and it's funny how you said he kind of set the pace, but while working within the framework of the Cavs offense and just the Cavs team in general. That's the best that you can hope for, right? When you make a trade mid-season, you hope that it's a chemistry match. It seems to be, and like you said, it's one night, but I think we'd rather be sitting here talking about, okay, let's pump the brakes. It was one night. Yeah, it looked good, rather than, it was terrible. It was, I know it's only the first night, but he was whatever. If he came in and went 2 of 14 from the floor and scored like 5 points or something, we'd be like, man, what did we do?
Yeah, that would have been an awful morning to wake up to.
Yeah. And fans like to have knee-jerk reactions. So I guess it's good that the knee-jerk reaction is, hey, that looked really good, but let's pump the brakes, rather than that was awful. We hope that gets better. Let's pump the brakes. It was a good pump of the brakes, right? Like not the kind where you're spinning out of control on black ice. It's like maybe we cut ourselves speeding a little bit too fast in the fast lane. We see a cop and we're like, let's pump the brakes. We're having fun. That was a weird analogy, but whatever. We know that, listen, this is a show where we like to jump in the car, right? We like to do that, so that's fine. Anyway, had to pull out the Inside Edge mobile one more time. Maybe not. I guess we're going to go around the league. There's just only one game, right? That's it.
Yeah.
That's all we got.
I guess for this game, I'm sorry, it felt confirmation for me, especially, specifically what I was talking about, why I liked him. Like everything that I argued about why this trade was necessary showed up on the floor yesterday. He was a real offensive organizer, a second creator who elevates Mitchell and doesn't demand the ball necessarily, but he's definitely elevated because, like I said, that gravity of him shooting that 3 is amazing. He's one of the best passers in the league and is, unlocks Mobley tremendously. A shooter who can change spacing. A veteran who closes games with composure, like his fourth quarter was awesome. And then a defender who fits in right with the Cavs system. He might not be the best defender, but he's a big body and he can guard in the paint, which is really nice. So again, I just think this is why you make the trade. This is why it's necessary. And, this is why the Cavs ceiling truly went up, I think. So,
yeah. I mean, all of a sudden it seems like the Cavs are starting to peak at the right time, not just on the floor, but roster wise. I mean, they're kind of getting chemistry down. You get Max Strus back eventually.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden now it's like, okay, well, it was doom and gloom, to start the season. It was like they'd win 1, lose 2, win 1, lose 1. They were in a kind of a weird funk, but now it seems like it's a little bit exciting, right? I mean, we're only in February. I know the playoffs are they're a ways off. But yeah, let them get through the All-Star break. Let them get to know each other a little bit. I think all of a sudden you could be sitting on something kind of exciting, right? No Giannis at the trade deadline, but that's okay. Nobody else got him either, so it's still in play. It could be an off-season thing.
Well, LeBron will come here next year on a veteran minimum. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw Jason Lloyd said the other morning on 92.3 was with the morning show. He said his feeling on it is that if LeBron plays anywhere next year, it'll be in Cleveland. So
yeah.
Listen, regardless of what you think about LeBron James, he's a 41-year-old man putting up 25, 6, and 6 at the highest level of basketball that there is in the world. You can say that he's past his prime, and maybe he is, but I think LeBron past his prime is better than, I don't know, 80% of the league in their prime. So it's pretty good, right?
Yeah, I just don't think this was anything close to LeBron's farewell tour. No way. It would have been way more publicized. I've heard rumors of him even like selling the sponsorship rights to it for $100 million, So, I mean, I don't know if the NBA would allow that, but nonetheless, that's insane. So there's no way this is his last year. Barring injury, there's no way. So
yeah. Listen, I get really jealous when I hear people reselling. I got to look around the house and see if I have anything worth $100 million. I don't. Is my farewell tour worth anywhere near that? I don't know. We'll find out. But we got to get to the Super Bowl. We got to talk about Super Bowl, and I think you can't really talk about this Super Bowl, Super Bowl 60. That still blows my mind. It still feels weird to say. Makes me feel pretty old because, like I said, I remember a good deal of them. Not all of them, but I remember a pretty good deal of them. So I don't think you can talk about the current Super Bowl first without you got to go back and talk about Super Bowl memories, right? So I just like as I think about like all the Super Bowls that I've watched, which is probably more than both of you put together. It's not a flex. It's just like you see the gray in my beard. I mean, it is what it is. Ryan, let me start with you. I want to get like what is your favorite Super Bowl memory? It could be growing up. It could be the first Super Bowl you watched. It could be watching our Browns win their.
No, this one's controversial actually because I was a beloved Buckeye fan ever before I was a Browns fan, and I mean I fell in love with football because of the Buckeyes and Santonio's Holmes catch in the toe tap of the end zone. As much as it pains me as a Browns fan now, I love that catch because I was a diehard Buckeyes fan. So that was probably the most memorable for me, just because it was right around when I started becoming a fan. I was a couple years in, fresh as a fan, and man, to see a guy that I love do that was pretty cool. So even though it does suck, it was for the Steelers. Nonetheless, it was pretty memorable when I was growing up. So.
No, actually, that's one of my top 5 Super Bowl memories as well. Just seeing Santonio Holmes make the play, like you said, he's a Buckeye, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard not to root for those guys when they go on. I get it; it's the Steelers, whatever. But it's not like listen. There's no direct competition. It's not like the Browns were anywhere near that game. So yeah, no, I get it. I completely understand that. TK, what's your favorite Super Bowl memory, man?
It's funny that Ryan brought up Super Bowl 43 because I remember a few years ago, as an unpaid intern for Pro Sports Extra, I did an article on top 10 Super Bowls, and Super Bowl 43 was number 1. Yeah, I would definitely agree with him on that sentiment. I was just very happy to see Larry Fitzgerald doing what he did to Ike Taylor for a majority of that night. Obviously, watching the career resurgence of Kurt Warner, kind of felt like we were watching those late 90s, early 2000s St. Louis Rams a little bit. Obviously with Larry Fitzgerald, Anquan Bolden, Steve Preston had a very good year that year. You had solid production from Edric James as well before he got hurt. So yeah, that was a pretty fun Super Bowl. That was a good one to watch. Obviously the toe tap catch by Santonio Holmes. Those 3 guys that were in the area of him, Oliver Celestin, Ralph Brown, and Aaron Francisco, were immediately cut after that game. There was no excuse for that ball to squeeze. You guys know I'm goofing off, but still, that was a terrible defensive possession for them. I still don't know how Ben fit that ball in there, but yeah, definitely Super Bowl 43. Super Bowl 42 is a close second.
Okay.
TK, you're an encyclopedia, man. You got these names. I mean, it's crazy.
I know.
I appreciate it, man. I try to remember as much as I can, man.
It's funny. Like, yeah, TK you probably know the shoe deals that each of those guys had as well. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm a little torn because I mentioned Super Bowl 20. I think that was Super Bowl 20. Phil Simms and the Giants. Simms just got off to that crazy start. I think we may have lost Ryan for just a moment. We'll work on getting him back in here. And we may have had a toddler unplugged situation. Remember we had that last week show. You never know. But we're going to keep an eye on that. We'll get him back in here as soon as possible. But yeah, one of my favorite Super Bowl memories, I got to tell you, he's back. Look at that. Welcome back, Ryan. We were worried. We thought we had.
I don't know what happened there, man.
We thought we had another toddler unplugged type of situation. I thought you were getting sabotaged by your kids again.
Probably.
But they're apparently not fans of the show. They're like, you know what? We're gonna get Dad off of here. See you later.
Yeah.
No, listen. One of my favorite memories is Doug Williams just tearing the Broncos up. I mean, what Super Bowl even was that? Was that 22? I guess. And that's kind of a fresh wound because I think the Browns had just gotten, but whatever. But yeah, Doug Williams, man, 340 yards and 4 touchdowns. I feel like they were all in the second quarter. It seems like everything that went down happened in that second quarter. Like just bombs away. Yeah. And I mean, Washington just went crazy. Doug Williams went crazy. Man, man, Doug Williams at Grambling State, first black quarterback to ever win the Super Bowl. I thought that was a cool moment. I just remember that very, very vividly as a kid, just watching. Like, it felt like you were actually watching the ball go over top. It was just like bomb after bomb. That was fun, man. That was a lot of fun. So for me, that's probably one of my favorites. And then, like I said, Phil Simms with the fast start on the Giants, because that's probably the first Super Bowl that I actually watched from kickoff to end. Just growing up, man, Super Bowl 20. So I've been here for, my goodness, man, 40 some Super Bowls now. Oof. Anyway, we'll take a break in a moment. I'll have a glass of Metamucil and we'll get back. I want to laugh, but I also want to cry a little bit because, man, I'm old. Okay. So that's our favorite Super Bowl memory. But listen, it's hard to get into the Super Bowl without talking about some of the silly stuff, right? Prop bets. I don't know. Do you guys find these fun, or are they just kind of a waste of time? I mean, I've got a list of some of there's the Gatorade color for the winning team. You can bet on that.
Stupid.
You don't like that? You don't like that?
That's dumb. I seen that the other day when I was getting ready to make my practice bets, and I'm like, guys, really? The color of the damn Gatorade. That's what we're betting on? That's wild.
I guess. Listen, TK, any reason they can use to take your money, they're going to do it. I mean, period. That's just what they're going to do. You can bet on the time of the national anthem. How you feel about that one, TK?
These are known, man. How do you not know these?
A wise man once said, if you see a sucker, go and get you a lick, Dan. And that is exactly what these betting sites are doing.
Right.
They are getting their lick one by one.
Don't forget about the coin toss, too.
Oh, yeah, coin toss. Listen, we don't necessarily condone betting here at the Inside Edge Network, but if you're looking for the time of the national anthem, the over-under is 119 and a half seconds. So Charlie Puth is singing that. He's never performed in a Super Bowl in any capacity. So I don't know that we necessarily know what to expect from a Charlie Puth national anthem. So that could be kind of a wild card bet. That might be
that'll be good.
I think it'll be longer. Yeah.
You think it'll be longer? Okay. All right.
He's that kind of singer. I'm not a bettor. I think betting, like he says, for suckers. I just don't like it morally either. So I think it's a form of control. Nonetheless, I mean, it is interesting. I mean, the coin toss is interesting for me because, I mean, historically 25 out of the 59 times it's been heads, which is 42.4%, which is pretty interesting. The Gatorade's really interesting to me, actually, because orange is the highest favorite, and then it goes blue, yellow, purple, red, and clear white. Orange has been done the most, which is 5 total in history. Do you guys actually know the history of the Gatorade splash? Do you understand where that came from? 1980s Gatorade bath with the Giants. Jim Burt, defensive tackle, dumped Gatorade all over Bill Parcells when they won a 17-3 victory over Washington. And allegedly, it wasn't because he was happy. Allegedly, it was because he was pissed off, and Parcells criticized him before the game, and to get back at him because he did so well, he dumped the Gatorade on him. And then they kept that tradition the next year when the Super Bowl 21, the following season. So pretty interesting. But actually, red has never been chosen ever in the 21st century. Over 25 years, Gatorade color red has never been chosen. Orange has been 5, and every other color has been 4. So that's pretty interesting. And then also no Gatorade has also been 4. So
okay, interesting. The history of the Gatorade.
I don't like betting, but I'm interested in
I get history. I get it, man. This stuff's interesting. You can bet on the first team to score. I think that was pretty obvious. But that's okay. That's not really much of a prop bet. That's more of that's just kind of a football bet. But the other prop bet that I found interesting was Bad Bunny total songs over under 11.5 for the halftime show. So are we going to see a medley? Are we going to see more of a complete, song or 2 or 3 from Bad Bunny? I guess that would go down. Yeah, that's 11.5. I would think that would be like a medley, right? Like a verse here, a verse here. What am I, Italian? Got the Olympics going on. I became very Italian this morning. A verse here, a verse there. Anyway, I don't know. You can bet on some wild stuff. So I don't know if you guys are gonna. I don't know if you guys bet. I don't necessarily bet. I could find more creative ways to donate my money because that's what it is for me. I don't win, so I have no chance of winning. I know that. I have terrible luck. So I guess if I was going to give away my money, I would probably just find a good cause to donate my money. If I had enough money to do that, that'd be great. Anyway, like I said, if I have anything laying around the house that's worth $100 million, maybe I'll look into that. I don't know. Let's take a quick break. We've been in it for about 20 minutes. We'll take a quick 4 or 5 minute break here on the Inside Edge Network. When we come back, we're going to talk about Super Bowl commercials because I don't know if you guys do you know the current cost of a 30-second Super Bowl ad right now, just for the airtime? Forget about the cost that actually, of making the commercial. Do you know what the cost is?
Absurd.
It's absurd, and we'll talk about it when we get back. Like I said, we'll take a quick 4 or 5 minute break on the Inside Edge Network. Bear with us, and we'll be right back. We've got Double A's take coming up pretty soon. Maybe we'll do that when we come back. We'll get Double A's take coming back on the other side of the break. That rhymed. You didn't expect that, did you? I got bars. Don't worry about it. Hey, it's the Super Sunday Sports Show. I gotta have bars. No, we'll take a quick break. Like I said, we'll come back and we'll talk about the cost of commercials. We'll talk about our favorite commercials. We'll get into that for a little bit. Then we'll take another break, and then we'll actually start breaking down the game because there is a game later on. I don't know if you guys know that there is a game later on today. 6:30 is the kickoff of the Super Bowl. Levi Stadium, right? Santa Clara, California. You can catch it on NBC or Peacock if you're, I guess, in between all the Olympic coverage. Man, NBC's got a lot going on this weekend. I think Mike Tirico was like flying back and forth, wasn't he? He's going to do the Super Bowl, then go to Italy. Then I don't know. That's wild.
Sounds like a rough life. Jealous. Oh no! Have to go to the Super Bowl, then Italy. Dang it!
I know. And people are like, well, he's at the Super Bowl, and then he goes to Milan, Italy. Like, please, that doesn't feel like work.
That's a lot of traveling.
That's a lot of traveling. But you know what? When you're getting paid the big bucks, I think it takes a little bit of the blow off of that, right?
Very true. But when you God, jeez, whatever.
He's gonna be jet lagged at some point in his life, but that's okay. He'll get through it. He's a pro. He can do it. Anyway, like I said, we'll take a break. Quick 4 or 5 minute break on the Inside Edge Network. We'll be right back after this. Okay. Man, it's a long scroll from the sounds all the way back up to the screens, man. They got to do something about that. It's got to be quicker. Anyway, welcome back to the Super Sunday Sports Show. We are previewing Super Bowl 60. Super Bowl 60. Right here on the Inside Edge Network. Before we go any further, we want to talk about, commercials, because that's a big part of the Super Bowl, right? Before we get into breaking down the game and talking about who has what advantage where and who might win or whatever. We want to talk about some of the commercials because, listen, a lot of people really only watch the Super Bowl for the commercials, right? I know plenty of people that are like, hey, I really only care about like what happens between the game, right? Like I just want to see whatever commercial, the Budweiser, Clydesdales, whatever. So we could talk about some of our favorite commercials or whatever else and how much they cost. It's crazy how much a Super Bowl commercial costs for 30 seconds of airtime. It's absolutely insane. We'll get to that in a moment. But first, we want to get our program director, Anthony Alford. We want to get his take. So it's time for Double A's take on the Super Bowl, on Super Bowl 60 here on the Inside Edge Network. Let's go to Anthony. We'll listen to him for a few minutes, and then we'll be right back.
41-35 Seattle in overtime. That's my prediction. Boom, got out of the way. I wanted to do this special AA take here on the Super Bowl Sunday just because of everything that's gone on in the NFL this past week and in our political climate world. I don't get the sense that a lot of people are excited about this Super Bowl. I'm just going to be honest. And I'll even put myself in that category. It's just, I think it's for a ton of reasons. But I think we're in for a great football game. And let's not act like these two teams. I get it. You would have not predicted this matchup before the season started. But Seattle was the number one seed. They are the number one seed. New England's the number 2 seed. So this is not a situation where two wild card teams just suddenly got hot and made it to the championship game. These are two teams that are very well respected. Unfortunately, in the case of New England, it's the Patriots again. It's, people don't have love for Robert Kraft. They just don't. But what that coach and quarterback has done, Mike Vrabel and Drake May, has been really, really something special. And I know things have kind of been a little easy on the New England side of things in terms of how they got there. But the Patriots are the number 2 scoring defense in the National Football League. So you do have that. And here's the thing. If Drake May, if he wins this game today, we will consider Drake May for many years to come one of the elite quarterbacks in the National Football League. This being year 2 for Drake May, is there. It's there for all of us to talk about Drake May, put him in that same class as a Patrick Mahomes. And then you could debate him or Josh Allen. I know it's easy to say right now, Drake May is better than Josh Allen, but you can have that debate. It's still going to be there. But we're going to talk about Drake May as one of the elites. That's why, and it's only in year 2, that's why today's game is more so about that boring Tim Duncan-like quarterback in Sam Darnold. This kid, he's not a kid anymore. He's been in the league that's the same length of time as Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield. But those other quarterbacks from that 2018 class, they are loaded with charisma. And I think Sam Darnold, is, in terms of hype, people are talking about him kind of the same way that people didn't talk about Tim Duncan. He clocks in at 9 o'clock, goes to work, takes his lunch break, comes back, clocks out at 5 o'clock. Boom, goes home to his family, and then he's back doing it again. So, that's pretty much what that is. But the fact is, Seattle earned the right to be in this game. There's a reason why they're favorites by a lot of people. They beat San Francisco when they needed to. They beat the Rams, who a lot of people talked about twice in the span of a month. They beat the Rams. So they beat who they needed to beat and kind of demolished them, to be perfectly honest, to earn their right into this game. So, folks, listen, I get it. If you're not excited about this Super Bowl, I don't blame you. Your typical superstars are not there. The team that you probably rooted for to be in this game is not there. I get that. But I think these are two well-coached football teams, two phenomenal defenses, two backfields that are at a great level right now. Kenneth Walker has a chance to win the MVP of tonight's game. So if Seattle wins, Kenneth Walker's the guy that's probably going to win the MVP. But don't sleep on New England's backfield either with Stevenson, and then we'll see what happens. I don't know what the status is with Travion Henderson, but we'll see what happens. But the game's going to be great. We're going to come away from today saying, man, this is probably one of the better Super Bowl stuff we have watched. Better than last year's Super Bowl. That more people look forward to, but then became a beatdown. So if you're not excited about this game, I get it. I understand. But we're all still going to watch, and I think we're all going to like what we see. All right, have a great day. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Enjoy.
Puppy Bowls can't miss TV. To be honest with you, man. I mean, that's fine too. Something off of Double A's thing. First of all, if you're not excited about the Super Bowl, you can watch it for the commercials. We'll get to that in a minute. But first, we got a comment. Mr. G Face, and then he thinks, based on what Double A said, if Drake May wins, then it'll be safe to say that he got snubbed for the MVP this year. I don't know. I mean, I get it. I get it. I see that. I mean, obviously the vote was pretty close.
I think the one vote for Justin Herbert was egregious. So I mean, I'm just gonna say that insane.
Yeah. Does Jim Harbaugh have a vote? Where'd that come from?
Hold on. I'll come back.
That's okay. No, I just thought the vote was really close. I just thought they got it right with Matt Stafford. And to address your thing about her, Justin Herbert got off to a great start, but I thought it really fizzled out. I didn't think that he had any momentum or steam at all when it came to MVP talks. But yeah, the one vote, I guess, whatever.
It was Sam Monson who voted for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder if maybe next week on the show we can try to. I wonder if he has a take.
Yeah, he went on Twitter and explained his reasoning. I don't know. I didn't necessarily agree with it, but nonetheless, okay. At least he backed it up. So
fair enough. I mean, hey, you got your opinion to back it up. That's fine. You can be wrong. That's okay. I mean, everybody has their own opinion. But yeah, maybe next week on the show we'll get that. I'd love to hear that. I'd love to. Maybe we'll break that down a little bit further. Because I thought they got it right with Matt Stafford. Didn't you guys?
Sure, maybe it just was. I mean, that, like I said, that one vote could have been a sliding factor. So I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
Nonetheless, what's done is done. So good for Matt.
Well, and there you go. I mean, it says he's a Chargers fan. I like the Chargers. Yeah. I voted for Herbert. I don't care. Shut up. Right? I mean, hey, it's fine. You get to do what you get to do. I guess when we all have a vote, we can vote for whoever we want to, right? All right. Well, like I said, I don't know. We talked about the Super Bowl commercials. First of all, you got to have some bank, right? If you're going to get a commercial to air, and you see the local regional stuff that airs, and people are like, man, did they? No, that's not the same. There's like a little time period where you get the regional stuff, right? But if you're going to have a national commercial during the Super Bowl, it's going to cost you. So listen, if you've got a 30-second idea for a Super Bowl commercial, and you've got maybe you're LeBron James and you're selling the rights to your farewell tour, and you've got an extra couple million laying around, it's going to take about 8 to 10 million on average for airtime for 30 seconds. 30 seconds of airtime for a Super Bowl commercial. That's not even including what it costs to make and produce and edit and finish and have a finished product. I mean, that's going to take some money too. Right? I mean, if you're going to have a Super Bowl commercial, it might as well be pretty high quality.
Apparently it's worth it because we're a bunch of good little consumers. So, I mean,
yeah, we eat it up, man. We talk about it for months. Yeah, we do exactly what we're their little drones. We do exactly what they want us to do. Whether we like it or not sometimes. So, in the spirit of that, we're not going to talk about commercials. No, we are. Commercials. I'm kidding. Because like I said, we're going to do. So let's talk about commercials. What are your favorite? Do you guys remember, what are your favorite Super Bowl commercials through the years? I mean, I don't know if you have one in mind or just like a general theme of commercials. TK, let me start with you, man. Oh, hold on. You're on mute, buddy. There you go.
There you go.
Let's see, my favorite Super Bowl commercial. There are a couple of them. I remember as a young one, when the Budweiser, "What's Up" commercial came out, and
Take a mine.
Looking back at that, you realize how important that commercial was. That was, definitely a mental health grab. Just picking up the phone, checking on your buddies, seeing, what's up, and just checking in, seeing how they are. That kind of meant a lot to me. Obviously as a kid, you see him acting goofy, you get a good laugh at it. But when you're in your 30s and you're all old and ran through, you suck at everything almost, and you just start thinking about it. And it's like, wow, that commercial was kind of deep, So yeah, that one stuck to me for sure. Last year when they had a seal as the damn seal in the Mountain Dew commercial, that was ridiculous. But it was really funny. Of course, I got a laugh out of it. But overall, I thought it was pretty idiotic, but genius in a way. But yeah, those are the two that come to my
Listen,
mind.
by the way, TK, real quick, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You went away. I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish up. You went away on me for a second. I'm sorry, TK. I thought you were done.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know. But those were the two that came to my mind. So
gotcha. Idiotic genius. I love that. I'm going to start using that, first of all. And by the way, TK's take is if you're in your 30s, you're old and ran through and done. So remember that. As I sit here at 46, I'm going to move on to Ryan Mosser. I'm going to get Ryan Mosser's favorite Super Bowl commercial of all time. I think we might have heard we got a spoiler alert there. I think TK took it. That's okay. You can take it.
Right. I got a couple. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, first one, obviously, that was a commercial from Budweiser in 2000. I mean, yo, Doogie, what? It's just, watching the game, having a bud, like my brothers and my cousins. We probably said "was up" a million times that following year. My mom actually banned that word from our house because we were so damn annoying with it. So it was pretty iconic to my childhood, personally. I also really liked the 2003 Reebok commercial where they had Terry Tate wrecking people in an office. If you guys remember that one. Yeah. Introducing the world of Terry Tate, office linebacker, and just like wrecking every other person in that place. You can bet Richard never forgot to cover his TPS reports again after this, because he would just go in and demolish them. The NFL 100 commercial in 2019, where all the legends, where Marshawn Lynch grabbed the cake and the ball fumbled, and then it's just everyone going after each other. Tom Brady handing off the rings to Baker. Joe Montana telling Micah Irvin, "No can do, cowboy," when he tries to get the ball. Peyton complaining about his arm hurting after throwing one pass. Just a great commercial. It's kind of tacky that one of the best ever is them actually promoting themselves, but nonetheless, it was well done and really funny. And then I guess just a side one. One I really liked was the Mountain Dew one, where they had you actually count all the Mountain Dews in the commercial to try to win $1 million. Like my wife and I actually stopped watching the game and did that for like 3 hours and try to do it. It was in 2021. I think 2 years ago they had one where it was like a link, but it was like 2,000 characters you had to type out, and it was going through a house and stuff to win another, some money too. I think those are fun, just interactive. It does take away from the game, but those are pretty memorable. So.
Yeah, well, listen. Are you watching that's the thing. If you're watching the commercials, if you're only watching for the commercials, then that's fun, and that's like a side adventure, right? Like you play all kinds of video games and you get lost on the side adventure. There's this little side adventure for you, right? You don't necessarily have to watch the whole Super Bowl. I think my favorite, for some reason, I like the Budweiser frogs. I don't know. I was probably like in high school when that came out. I guess I was probably 15 or 16. I don't remember the exact year, but I thought that was pretty. It was just, I don't know, simple, but it was just kind of funny to me. But yeah, Seal as the Seal was funny. The What's Up commercials were ridiculous. Same. I think we all did that for the next couple of years. I didn't necessarily get it. I think I was I was away from home then maybe, so I didn't get it banned from my home. But I'm sure some of my friends were like, "All right, dude, like, come on, chill."
Even later that year, they put it in Scary Movie too. So like it's in that scene as well, which is iconic. So it jumped different types of media rather. So I don't know. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, all the way into pop culture. Yeah, absolutely. I do remember that. That was fun. That was actually a really funny scene too. So I think all that being said, 8 to 10 million for a 30-second spot. A lot of people watch only for the commercials. Sometimes if we get a little bit behind in the game, maybe I might deviate. I might fast forward through some stuff or whatever. But then I don't know. You got, like I said, 8 to 10 million for a 30-second spot is wild. So a lot of people don't know this. This year, pretty crazy. Never would have thought this would have been possible at this time last year. But the Inside Edge Network has a Super Bowl commercial, you guys. This is just what we could afford. Keeping in mind, not a lot of production value because it is 8 to 10 million just for the 30-second spot. So I want to debut, because Super Bowl commercials leak early all the time. This isn't a big deal. I'm allowed to do this. This is fine. Keep your eyes peeled. This isn't like it's not going to win you $1 million. You don't want to like count the Inside Edge Network logos or anything. That should be pretty easy. But this is a big moment for us. I'm getting a little choked up. Let me debut for the first time anywhere, the Inside Edge Network Super Bowl 60 official commercial. Guys, this is epic. You ready? That's it. Oh, we have the money for it. Very expensive. Right? It's very expensive, but that's it. That's our Super Bowl commercial. Super excited. It was really dumb, but that was fun. We had fun with that, so that's fine. Listen, we're gonna take one more break. Well, not one more. We'll take more than one more break, but we're gonna take a break now. When we come back, we're gonna break down actual Super Bowl things. We're gonna talk about New England's offense versus Seattle's defense, Seattle's offense versus New England's defense, because those are important matchups. They'll be on the field at the same time. A lot of people want to compare offenses. That's silly. The offenses don't play against each other, right? That's weird. So we're going to talk about how they match up against each other, the offenses and the defenses. That makes sense. So give us a second. Give us more than a second. It'd be a weird break. 1 second. Give us a few minutes, and we'll be right back here on the Inside Edge Network Super Sunday Sports Show, Super Bowl 60 preview. We'll be right back, guys. All right, and we are back on the Super Sunday Sports Show, the Super edition of the Sunday Sports Show, Super Bowl edition. I can't decide which one I like more. I just keep saying them both. It's kind of fun. Let's just get one more look. I'm sorry. That's just I get emotional. Let's get one more look at this. It's just wow, man. That's. I'm sorry. It's not quite the Budweiser Clydesdales, but it's big, man. It's big. Whew, all right. So dumb. All right, let's move on. It's probably time to move on. Let's talk about I think one of the matchups that we talked about Drake May possibly solidifying himself as it doesn't matter what he does. He could go 11 of 29 for 84 yards and a touchdown, and we'll probably call him an elite quarterback if he wins the Super Bowl, right? That's what happens. I mean, some people he might get the game manager, tab if he does that, but whatever. So let's just talk about New England's offense versus Seattle's defense, because this is like one of the and I think it's kind of funny. People are making the Ohio State Michigan connection, right? With Mike Vrabel and Mike McDonald. McDonald was at Michigan for like 1 year, which is fine. That's fine. He's got the Michigan background. That's okay. But I just don't. Vrabel's Ohio State roots are, I think, a little deeper. Actually, local here. He's from Akron, so that's kind of cool. We've got a local guy who was here in Berea, by the way, last year in the building with the Browns.
And McDaniel's from Canton, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot to make that connection. But yeah, local flavor in the Super Bowl. Listen, Ohio is like people call Ohio the cradle of coaches, right? There's a reason. That's specifically Miami of Ohio, but whatever. Let's just get into New England's offense versus Seattle's defense, because I think, like I said, we got to break down some of the matchups here. We can't talk about silly stuff all day. First of all, when you think about Drake May and the running game, Travion Henderson, everything else that goes on in New England. I'm sorry. I got a lot of stuff going on over here. My screens are weird. Okay. Who has the advantage here between when you talk about New England's offense, Seattle's defense? I like what Mike McDonald does a lot of creative things on defense. They continuously rush for, but they get pressure on the quarterback. A lot of stunts, a lot of just feigned blitzes, if that makes sense. Like I really love what McDonald does. I guess, Ryan, let me start with you. Who do you feel when you're breaking down New England's offense versus Seattle's defense? I mean, who has the edge here and why?
To me, it's clear that Seattle's defense has the edge here for sure. Granted, the Patriots offense has been good. They were good all regular season. Not so great this postseason, but they're in the Super Bowl. I mean, third overall offense for the Patriots. Seahawks defense, though, man, they're top six, and they are just firing on all cylinders right now. Seattle's defense is elite and built to take away explosive plays, I think. Seattle's been one of the most toughest defenses in football, especially against the run and early down efficiency. They've allowed 20-plus points only once since November 30th, a stretch that shows how consistently they've smothered opponents. Their philosophy is clear: with win with four-man rush, flood the back end with coverage, force quarterbacks to be patient and mistake-free. And, I mean, this is exactly the kind of structure that challenges young quarterbacks like Drake May. Yeah.
And that offensive line, by the way, the Patriots offensive line, they've struggled with stunts all year,
right?
When they're executed well. So, yeah, I mean, it makes you worry a little bit if you're a Patriots fan, like what might be in store from that defense. You saw Mr. G said, love what, I mean, just an absolute, I don't know. Yeah. TK, I mean, what do you think here? New England's offense for Seattle's defense. What are your thoughts?
Me personally, I'm going to go with Seattle's defense. We have all seen them shut down some of the most elite units when need be. Granted, they had a little bit of trouble with the Los Angeles Rams in the playoff game, but you saw the defense stiffen when it needed to. And I definitely think this is going to be another case of that come the Super Bowl. Mind you, I honestly think this game is going to be a little less low scoring than what people are thinking it's going to be. I really am not expecting the fireworks. I don't expect a clunker either. But at the same time, I don't expect too much going over the top. Both of these teams possess very good secondaries. They're very good up front four. or for the front three for New England. They run 3-4, obviously. But they get pressure when need be. Obviously, DeMarcus Lawrence is having a resurgence in his career. Who would have thought that he made the right move by ditching the Cowboys and heading to the Seahawks in free agency? Big shout out to him. You definitely want to see Boye Mafe help out in that pressure realm as well. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to give the edge to Seattle on the defense.
Fair enough. I mean, both these offenses and defenses are around, top 10, 11 in the league, according to ESPN. They've got Seattle ranking first in defense. New England's 11th. The Patriots are 9th on offense in their rankings, and the Seahawks rank 11th. So, I mean, yeah, they're both, top half of the league, obviously, as you would expect from two Super Bowl teams, right? You can't have one side of the ball really strong and one side of the ball, 31st or 32nd in the league. We know a team like that. But that's okay. You gotta bring those toward the middle a little more. Drake May, listen, led the league in QBR, right? At least ESPN's QBR. You could probably look at different ratings and things. But I just think, like I said, that Patriots offensive line may have some trouble with Seattle's stunts. Just the Seattle front they're
elite,
so good at getting pressure. Yeah, getting pressure with four guys. And like I said, they'll feign some blitzes. They'll give you some things to think about as an offensive lineman. Especially the tackles. I think they like to work off the edges a little bit. And, I can see New England having some trouble with that today. But then we got to go to the other side of the ball because that's too many things to click on. Seattle's offense, Sam Darnold's resurgence, from a journeyman to he looked lost in the league, right? And now he's back. People literally getting fired in Minnesota. They say not because of Sam Darnold, but come on. That's fired a GM because of you move on from Sam Darnold. You're just stuck with JJ McCarthy there. That's a little bit of an issue now, right? So Seattle's offense versus New England's defense. And TK, let me start with you on this one. We'll go right back to you. I feel like this is a clear advantage as well, but how do you feel about this?
Yeah. New England's defense doesn't get as much credit as I think they deserve. Obviously, everyone knows how great Christian Gonzalez is.
Mm-hmm.
And, everyone expected big things from Milton Williams as their big free agent acquisition. But you got to think, overall, this is a top 5 unit. Christian Barrymore is still a very good player. He had a solid season this year. Harold Landry has snapped back significantly. Kayvon Shazier just had the best season of his career, leading the team with 7.5 sacks. You think of the rookie safety tandem they have, and Craig Woodson and Jalen Hawkins. There are players everywhere on this defense, which is exactly why I said I don't see the fireworks happening all that often during this game. I definitely think both teams possess not only great offenses, but very good, fundamentally sound defenses. It's going to be a very chess match of the ages type of game. If I do say so myself. I know that's a bold take. Both of these quarterbacks are very, very good this year. Obviously, Drake may be an MVP candidate. Sam Darnold was an MVP candidate last year. Regressed a little bit, but not significantly. Season the Super Bowl. But this is definitely a game that I think could get very weird very early.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is Sam Darnold the first quarterback to win 14 games for two different teams? Is that right? Or is it back-to-back seasons? Which one is it? I'm not sure. Anyway, I thought that was a crazy stat. I think that's correct. I think he's the first quarterback to win 14 games, two different teams. Just wild. But Ryan, Seattle's offense versus New England's defense. What gives?
Yeah, I think TK wasn't far off when he said that there's going to be a chess match involved in this game. I think specifically it's going to be, the Patriots secondary versus the Seahawks receivers specifically. Their secondary, as TK said, they're very, very good. Those corners are elite, and they're going against, JSN, debatably the number 1, number 2 receiver in the NFL this year. And Cooper Kupp and Rashid Shaheed, just all these guys who are electric. I mean, Rashid Shaheed can take it back, as a kickoff return for a touchdown. That dude is a vertical threat. It's going to be fun. I don't know. I think that the key battle here will be, like I said, the passing rhythm versus New England's secondary coverage. Seattle wants to get the ball out quickly and let the receivers work after the catch. New England wants to take away from the first window, force Donald to hold the ball and make them process under pressure. And if that's the case, then that defensive front's going to get home, and it's going to be a bad day. I don't know. I can't really expect an outcome. I don't know. I think it's going to be closer. I don't think it's going to be super high scoring, but I do agree that is going to be the key matchup here. I think Kenneth Walker is going to be a huge stabilizer. I mean, he doesn't need 25 carries, but he does need to be efficient in this game. His ability to turn small creases into chunk gains helps Seattle, get ahead of the sticks and, prevents New England from dictating coverage, which I think it will be very, very important. That's going to be a key factor is definitely getting the run game involved for Seattle as well. So,
yeah. Explosive play differential is the thing that comes into play. First of all, each of the 4 teams that were in the conference championships were in the top 5 in the league in explosive play differential, which is basically how often you have explosive plays versus how often your defense limits explosive plays, right? How well they limit explosive plays. Seattle was the best in the league, and I think the Patriots were 4th. I can't find my notes here, but so top 4 teams in explosive play differential. I mean, that's a thing. Weirdly, though, a lot of the top teams in explosive play differential that have gotten into the Super Bowl over the last 9 or 10 seasons, they've all lost. So you would think that would bode well, but the Super Bowl is just like TK said, it's a game that can get weird, right? The Super Bowl just is a different. Really, you can kind of throw out. It's like a rivalry game in a way. You can kind of throw out all the regular season stuff. You can throw out everything. I mean, these teams have now had 2 weeks to prepare for each other. Of pretty much, just unadulterated like film and game planning, right? So some of that stuff gets a little bit thrown out, gets wonky. I mean, anything can happen in the Super Bowl. We've seen, crazy like a bad snap on the first play goes for a save, whatever, right? Like crazy, and it just sets the tone. So I think it's all about getting off to a quick start. I think some of these stats mean a lot versus that very little, but you're right. That Seattle secondary is very, very good. Gosh, man, their receivers are so fast too. I mean, Rashid Shaheed can absolutely take the top off of, just about any defense. Seattle just seems like a monster coming in. But then New England's just been quietly winning. I mean, they both finished 14-3. They both had their moments in the playoffs where they looked, well, New England had a couple moments where they looked a little, right? Seattle looked pretty good. I mean, Seattle would scare me. If I'm a Patriots fan, I'm going to be honest with you, like Seattle scares me a little bit, right? Like coming in, they look like a monster. So sometimes games like this can come down to missed kicks or like who knows, a muffed punt, something, anything can happen. So who really has the special teams advantage here? Is there any one team? Ryan, I'm going to start with you. Who would you give? Seattle, New England, who do you give the special teams advantage to here?
I mean, it's got to be Seattle. They recently just scored off a kickoff return. I mean, not much to say there. Not to mention they have one of the best kickers in the league as well. So yeah, Rashid Shaheed is just like you said, electric. TK, you agree Seattle as well here too?
It's honestly pretty hard for me to choose because I do love Seattle special teams unit quite a bit. I have a lot of love for Jason Myers. Michael Dixon is probably the most interesting punter to ever come out. I think he is incredible. Not only, for the talent that he possesses, pinning the ball inside the 20, leg strength is also a big one too. He's kind of a playmaker, man. He's athletic as hell for a punter, and especially, to be, 6'4", doing the things that he does, as a punter. But, hey, man, Marcus Jones is a 2-time All-Pro. I mean, that guy is an elite punt returner. He's like Rick Upchurch reincarnated, except he's a defensive back. Obviously, I love the improvements that Andres Borgelis has been able to make this season. Bryce Behringer is a very solid punter. I got mad love for guys like Brendan Schooler. He's taken the place of Matthew Slater absolutely beautifully, seamlessly. Is one of the best gunners in the NFL. Not to mention, I like the 7th round draft pick Julian Ashby as their long snapper. He had a pretty good season this year. I mean, obviously, you don't talk too much about long snappers. You get in there, you snap the ball, you do your job, don't screw up our operation. You understand? But he came in there. New England expects a lot, especially from those positions that don't get much of the that don't get much of the glory and the shine. Obviously, gunner, long snapper, they take those things very seriously, and I thought Julian Ashby did a very decent job for the Patriots this year. Could be there for another 10 years. You know how they like to hold tight on to long snappers. Just ask Joe Cardona. But yeah, for me, man, I guess you could go Seattle. But if I was to go Seattle, I'd probably say very slightly because I do like New England's unit quite a bit as well.
Okay.
I think Seattle takes a lot of these categories. Like I think maybe other than quarterback, I mean, they definitely take running back. They definitely take receiver. Probably not tight end, but offensive line, they're healthier. They're more stable, I think, as you said. I mean, New England can't stabilize the pocket in a hurry. Their entire offensive identity is going to get squeezed today, and that's going to be a problem. Seattle's, I think their defensive line is better. I think their linebackers are better. I do think New England's corners are better, but Seattle's safety group has grown into a real asset as well, especially with how they support the pass rush, I think. And then coaching is a toss-up. So I don't know. It's Seattle. It leans a lot Seattle with me. I mean, the betting obviously in Vegas is leaning Seattle as well. Like TK said, that always gives me a little bit of skepticism because if a lot of money's on one end, then there's a lot of money to be made at another end. But nonetheless, on paper, Seattle looks much better to me. So,
yeah. Hey, some people think the NFL is scripted. Some people think you can look right at the Super Bowl logo and you can tell who's going to win. I don't know how. I don't. The pink team. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing. I really break that stuff down. It's wild. But hey, I don't know. I mean, I like Seattle's ability. I mean, Rashid Shaheed, like you said, just the speed is electric. I like their ability to bring one back. I mean, New England has that ability as well, but Shaheed has done it in the playoffs, just a few weeks ago. So I mean, we've seen that happen. And long snappers, like you said, they really don't get any mention, or even gunners, but more so long snappers. You really don't hear about them until they make a mistake. It's just like the life of total anonymity. They just go out there and do their job. Blue collar. Hardworking guys, man, that just go out there and just do the job time after time. So, I mean, who knows? I mean, a game this close could come down to a special teams mistake or a special teams big play, or you always look for that in a game like this. So, I think that's important to talk about. But when we come back, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're gonna get into keys to victory. We'll talk about New England first. We'll talk about Seattle's keys to victory, and then it's gonna be a score prediction time. We're gonna talk about final score, who wins the MVP. We're rounding the bend here on the Super Sunday Sports Show, Super Bowl 60 edition. So give us a minute. We'll be back in just a few with you on the Inside Edge Network. And like I said, we'll pick our winners. And I mean, if you're watching along, if you want to pick along with us in the comments, please do that. Let us know who you think's going to win. Let us know what the score will be. And let us know who you think's going to win the MVP. Maybe it's Sam Darnold. Maybe it's Jackson Smith-Njigba, Drake May, or maybe it's somebody a little more obscure. Maybe you have your eye on somebody else. You heard Double A's take. So give us, like I said, just a few minutes. We'll be right back here on the Inside Edge Network. Thanks. Welcome back to the Sunday Sports Show, Super Bowl 60 edition, the Super Sunday Sports Show. For today, we're previewing Super Bowl 60. And listen, now it's time. I mean, we've talked about all the different matchups. We talked about who might have, special teams advantage. We even got some long snappers and gunners in today, man. I'm proud of us. I'm proud of the long snappers. I'm proud of the gunners. But let's just start. Like I said, when we came back, we're going to start with New England's keys to victory. Let's get right to it. What do the Patriots have to do to win this football game? I'm going to start with TK. What do they got to do to bring number seven Super Bowls if they win today? What do they have to do, TK? What do they got to do to win?
I think a big thing for today is getting to Drake May. Definitely being able to collapse that pocket is going to be a big thing for them. Challenge the edges, challenge those tackles, both Will Campbell and Morgan Moses, as much as you possibly can. You got to think there's a chance for a big game for both Uchenna Nwosu and DeMarcus Lawrence coming off that edge. Also, you got the monsters in the middle, Byron Murphy and Leonard Williams doing the interior damage as well. Definitely being able to collapse that pocket or keep the pocket afloat. Better yet, we're talking about New England. My apologies.
You got excited.
You want to keep that.
You need to get excited.
You definitely want to keep that. You definitely want to keep the pocket as clean as possible. Those two tackles, like I said, Will Campbell, Morgan Moses, are definitely going to be challenged today. Going to need a little bit of help, possibly from Austin Hooper, Hunter Henry, the tight end game. You can have those wide receivers block as well. Secondly, you got to have a balanced attack as well. We didn't get much of Trey Henderson in the playoffs. Ramondre Stevenson has been a big contributor for the New England Patriots. But, in the back of your head, waiting, when's that fumble going to come? When's that inevitable mistake going to come? Keep it a little balanced. Give Trey some carries in there as well. And I think the big one for New England, you guys got to get to Sam Darnold. You've got to get to Sam Darnold. I do think Christian Gonzalez is going to do the absolute best that he can on Jackson Smith-Njigba. But at the same time, I think being able to collapse Seattle's pocket, because I do think both teams are about even in the offensive line category. We obviously expect a big jump from Will Campbell later on in the future, but I do think Seattle may have the slight edge right now with the group that they have. You definitely want to get to Sam Darnold, keep Kenneth Walker III under wraps, and just basically try to bottle up their offense as much as possible. Jackson Smith-Njigba is going to do Jackson Smith-Njigba things, but I am confident in Christian Gonzalez to be able to keep up with him for the majority of the game.
Fair enough. All right, Ryan, what do the Patriots have to do to bring Super Bowl number 7 to this franchise? 7.
It's crazy. Yeah, first is Drake May has to be the best version of himself, I think. New England can't win this game if May plays small. He doesn't need to be reckless by all means, but he does need to be aggressive and decisive, I think. That means protecting the ball, avoiding the hero throws into coverage, and using his legs when the pocket breaks down, because it's going to break down today. Early, easy completions matter at the beginning of the game. Get him settled, get him confident, and then let him push the ball when the matchups dictate it. Secondly, win the yards after catch battle with the quick game, I think. Seattle's defense is a lead across the board. I talked about it earlier. But one area the teams have consistently exploited is yards after catch. New England has the personnel to stress them horizontally, get the ball out fast, let the young playmakers run, and force Seattle's DB to tackle into space. They are really good, but, it's harder to tackle in space on an island. This would keep May out of long developing high-risk situations and turn the game into a speed contest. And then thirdly, make Seattle win without JSN. JSN is the engine of their passing game. If New England keeps him from taking over, whether that's through the bracket coverage, physicality at the line, or forcing Darnold to look elsewhere, Seattle becomes far more predictable, I think. So make them beat you with the run game and secondary options, not their superstar receiver. So.
Yeah. You talked about Ramondre Stevenson. Wow, words are hard today, man. Trouble. But TK, you mentioned Ramondre Stevenson. Jeez. 2.8 yards after contact per rush. That led the NFL this year. So that kind of shows you, you got Travion Henderson, lightning on the perimeter. You've got you got the lightning and thunder there. If they can get that going, New England can, I think, kind of control the pace of the game a little bit. and take a little bit of pressure off Drake May. Obviously, that's good, right? You have a good running game. You can take some pressure off because talk about the pass rush from Seattle.
Right.
It's lethal. 4 guys, it's lethal. So on the other side of this, what does Seattle have to do to win the football? Brian, I'm going to start with you. What do the Seahawks have to do to neutralize all those New England threats and all that stuff? What do they have to do to win the football game today?
Yeah, conversely, they have to let the offense run through Jackson Smith and Jigba. I mean, Seattle's passing game is at its best when JSN is the focal point. Clearly, he's their chain mover. He's their matchup problem. He's the guy who forces defenses to adjust. Personally, if Seattle gets him going early, quick hitters, option routes, slot isolations, it opens up everything else. When he's involved, the offense feels rhythmic, instead of reactive, and I think that's really important. So, secondly, win the line of scrimmage with their defensive front. Like I've talked about it today a lot. Seattle's defensive line is the strength of their roster, and this is the matchup where it has to show up. They need to collapse the pocket on Drake May without blitzing, muddy a sight line, and then force them into rush decisions. If Seattle can generate pressure with 4, then they can sit back in coverage and take away the Patriots' quick game rhythm, which I think will be what they need to do to succeed. Thirdly, keep Sam Darnold in structure. Darnold has played his best football this season when he's operating on time and within design, I think. The moment he's forced into backyard mode, the turnover risk spikes. Seattle needs to protect him with play action, defined reads, a steady run game. If they can keep him out of obvious passing downs and manage the game without giving New England cheap possessions, they're going to win this game.
Yeah, listen, Darnold is 0-4 against the Patriots for what it's worth. Just coming in, that's could be significant. TK, what do the Seahawks have to do to win the Super Bowl? The Super Bowl.
Well, like I said earlier, when I thought we were talking about Seattle, Lieutenant Owusu and DeMarcus Lawrence are going to have to challenge those 2 tackles, Will Campbell and Morgan Moses. I do like Will Campbell a ton, but he has struggled quite a bit against speed rushing. Obviously, we remember the game that he had against us. Granted, they still beat us by 20. But at the same time, that pocket being collapsed, getting to Drake May as much as humanly possible, that's going to be huge. Also, here's the big one for me. We talked about how Sam Darnold has struggled against the New England Patriots in the past. Mm-hmm. Sammy D can't see no ghost today. No ghost today, buddy. We gotta show the world that we have gotten past that stage. We are a completely different new quarterback. We're like Patty LaBelle in 1985. We got a new attitude, baby, and that's how we rolling today. And last but not least, gotta limit the big plays. You have got to limit the big plays. I think in that NFC Championship game versus the Rams, defense got a little sloppy at times. Puka Nacua was able to get loosey-goosey almost at will in that second half. And you saw the big catch that he had at the end of the game. Had he been able to get out of bounds sooner, that possibly sets up a long field goal attempt for thick boy Harrison Mevis to go out there and slice and dice and possibly split the gooch for an overtime game. Oh, wait a minute. They lost by 4. I'm an idiot. Sorry. But anyway, had he had gotten out of bounds.
I saw the wheels turn in your head, man.
yeah, man. Had he had gotten out of bounds in a more timely fashion, would have set up a shorter opportunity, possibly for another Hail Mary, to possibly win a game or whatever. But, they got to keep the screws tight on the defensive end. I did say that I don't expect the fireworks to be at a premium. That don't mean I don't expect to see any at all. So they got to be ready and willing to be able to defend the deep ball. They like to get guys that we usually don't talk about too much. Pop Douglas, the Mac Hollins, the Austin Hooper every now and again, the Kyle Williams. You might see an Efton Chisholm sighting today. So you guys just got to be aware of the big plays. Keep the defense as tight as you possibly can, and try to avoid those letdowns late in the second half.
Fair enough. Hey, listen, Seattle, you're going to see some nickel defense out of Seattle for a lot of the game. They played the most snaps of nickel of anybody in the NFL. 5.5 yards per attempt out of the nickel as well. So they're fast, they're physical, they're effective. They do they disguise a lot of the stuff. I mean, they're just they're really effective. It's just a really smart defense. You know, we got excited about Todd Monken being. We've got an offensive coach, but now it's like two really defensive minded coaches in the Super Bowl. So it's like, whatever. We needed something on offense. Got to open up the Browns somehow. Also, real quick, DeMarcus Lawrence, a sack and a forced fumble in both Seahawks postseason wins. If he does that again today, he'll be the first player this century to do that in 3 postseason games. That's pretty wild.
That's crazy.
Just something crazy to keep an eye on. Speaking of prop bets, you know what I mean? That could be a weird thing. Yeah, I don't know. I guess there's nothing left to do now, but we're gonna give our score prediction, right? Who wins this game? What is the final score? And we do have some final thoughts. It's not the final thing, but regarding the Super Bowl, the last thing to do. So man, who wants to go? Anybody want to go first? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. That's fine.
All right, Ryan, who wins this game? What's the final score?
Yeah, I think, with Seattle entering the game at a 4.5 point favorite, I think that this matchup projects a tight defensive-driven game, which TK and I have talked about, today, where both teams struggle to finish drives consistently. There should be some big plays, but not, the whole game. I think Seahawks are going to win 23-20. Not to mention there are rumblings of a script getting released where Seahawks win by 3, so I'll play along. So.
All right, fair enough. I love the NFL script talk. I never get enough. It's fun. Let's study the logo and see what's going to happen. All right, TK, what do you got, man? Who wins? What's the final score?
I'm going to go Seattle 24, New England 21 on this one. Again, not too many. Yeah, I was pretty close to Ryan on that score prediction. He just said 23-20. So, I definitely think it's going to be a close game. We definitely could see Jason Myers doing his very best Adam Vinatieri impression at the end of the game. But yeah, I definitely think this is going to be a close one. Below the total, perceived total, which is 45.5 today. So I definitely think that's going to be an under, very slightly, people. So hang on to the edge of your seat. But I got the Seahawks winning this one.
Okay. All right. I went back and forth on this. I've got the Seahawks winning it. I think I've felt like the Seahawks were going to win the whole time. I didn't really go back and forth on who was going to win. I went back and forth on the score. I think it's going to be a little bit higher scoring than some people think. I've got Seahawks 31-27. They're right there. That's the 3-point range. I mean, that's 4, right? That's close. But yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. And I really think it just comes down to who has the ball last. Ultimately, I think the speed of Seattle, that receiving core, Rashid Shaheed, Jackson Smith, and Jigba is a monster. I mean, he had a fantastic year. Sam Darnold is back, right? I mean, Sam Darnold's a really good quarterback. I think I think it just comes down to who gets the ball last. And I feel like it's going to be the Seahawks. I feel like they get it done. I don't necessarily know that it's a walkout. Who knows? But I just think Seattle 31-27. That's where I'm at. So now I got to ask you guys. We'll go same order. Ryan, I'll start with you. Who is the MVP of Super Bowl 60?
Yeah, that's tough for me. I mean, if I'm going with a Seattle winning, usually the quarterback wins the MVP. Overwhelming. They've won this award historically, but I'm gonna go JSN. I think he'll have some big plays. I think he'll be vital. Maybe score a touchdown or two, and we'll see. But dark horse, I think his odds are plus 500 or 550 right now, compared to Darnold's, who are is 115 plus 120ish. So, but nonetheless, I think he's got a good chance if Seattle wins. So,
for sure. Okay, TK, what do you think?
Definitely pulling for Samuel Richard Darnold to be the MVP of this game. And if he is awarded the MVP, I definitely think a petition should be made out to force Woody Johnson to sell the New York Jets. This is a complete failure on his accord, as he was the 3rd overall selection in the 2018 NFL Draft. I do understand that possibly he didn't give the production that you would have expected out of a 3rd overall pick. However, that team that was around him between the years of 2018 to 2020 was, for the better lack of terminology, absolute dog shit. And I don't know exactly what it was that they were expecting from that kid. And you think back to that time with the Jets, I think back in 2019 specifically, they couldn't do a damn thing right without him in the lineup. They went 7-6 with him as a starter that year.
Yeah.
And he put up 19 touchdowns to 13 interceptions and had over 3,000 yards. The other 3 games that they had played that year, they had struggled cycling between Trevor Siemian, who broke his ankle in that Monday night game against us that year, and Luke Falk, who's just god awful. This is a big loss for the Jets. As much as I have love for that franchise's fan base, there's some wonderful fans out there in Gotham City. Woody Johnson screwed this one up, and for those good people of Gotham City to have to watch him not only hoist the Super Bowl trophy, but the Super Bowl MVP trophy as well, Woodrow Johnson needs to sell that team immediately.
It feels like a similar arc to like if we as Browns fans watched Baker Mayfield win the MVP, and it feels the same.
Crush me.
I'm sorry.
I said that would crush me.
Yeah, that would hurt. And you're right. They probably should have waited a little bit of time, let him develop, put something around him. I mean, put anything around him would have been nice. Listen, I think if it's my score, if it's 31-27, I think that probably lends to the fact that Sam Darnold would win the MVP or Jackson Smith and Jigba. If it's a lower scoring game, if it ends up, I don't know, 20-14, 17-14, somewhere around there, I think it's going to be just whoever makes the biggest play. It could be Rashid Shaheed, right? Let's say he brings a kickback or whatever, gets gets over top of the defense for a big 50, 60-yard catch, maybe a score, or to set them up for a score. I mean, I think you could see that. If nobody has any crazy numbers, but if it's 31-27, it's most likely going to be Darnold or JSN, right? So I guess I'm going to go Sam Darnold. I love the story. I would love to see Sam Darnold just come all the way back. I mean, previously thought of as a journeyman, almost out of the league, really. Not almost out of the league, but almost out as a starter. And then, it goes and wins 14 games in Minnesota, 14 games in Seattle. Now he's in the Super Bowl. It's a great story. It'd be fun to see them win and watch him win the MVP, but not for Jets fans. So sorry. That's all I've got. I mean, we've got some final thoughts though. Thank you guys for watching. But first, let's just follow us on social media, right? Go to the Inside Edge Network on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Facebook. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. Find the logo. You see the logo at the top of your screen. Find the Inside Edge Network logo and just give us a follow. And make sure that you're always notified or set up to be notified when we go live so you don't miss anything. Because this is fun. And honestly, if you weren't here today with us, you would have missed our epic Super Bowl commercial, which I'm going to play one more time because it's very emotional. And I think if I get a little choked up, it's okay. It's the end of the show. So it's powerful. It's powerful. I don't even know how to react to that. Really,
Beautiful.
I'm gonna let you take it over, man. Parting thoughts, final words. Anything you got? Just what's on your heart? What's on your mind? I guess.
Can you guys hear me?
You cut out a little bit. I think. Are you getting a phone call? Is that a Jets fan calling you right now? Hold on. Hold on. We got what?
Jets. Sorry about that. Hold on.
You're good. That's okay.
You're better now.
Hold on. Give me a second.
I was excited to watch you take that phone call live. I thought we were.
How about now?
You're good. You're all good. We can hear you now.
All right. Let's see here. Last week I did the birthday shout out to Rick James. This week I want to pay respects to 3 deaths in the football world that we had on this very day, all 3 in different years. The very first one being Derek Thomas back in 2000, was driving down the highway in St. Louis for a playoff game where his Jeep veered off the road and he would later succumb to his injuries. 126 and a half sacks, obviously a first ballot Hall of Fame pass rusher and even a better person. Everyone loved how enigmatic his personality was. Cat was always smiling, whether he's sacking a quarterback or, just a routine run-of-the-mill type of day. It was always a great person to be around. That was a tough one. Obviously a big one for us Browns fans. Marty Schottenheimer in 2021 at the age of 77 after a 10-year battle with Alzheimer's. And the last one being Dick Duran just last year at the age of 74 from cancer. Definitely huge rest in peace to those 3 football giants. Definitely big pieces of NFL history and great men as well. Definitely wish the best to their families and hope that they're doing the absolute best. Just got caught up, getting ready for this morning, thinking about, our own morality, kind of some loser shit to do, but you can't help it sometimes, you think like, hey man, like, a lot of things going on, people dropping like flies every day. They really do. And that's probably the most painful reality of life, especially for me, just to think about that, like we only got so much time here. And for those three men, they sure did a hell of a lot with their time. And much respect to them, much love to them. I hate to get, somber like that, but, it was just something that was beating around my head this morning pretty heavy. So just thought I'd get into that.
Yeah, the floor is yours. And I think you bring up a great point. I mean, we're only here for so long, right? Like, do the best you can, do something positive and leave a positive legacy. I think that's what everybody wants, right? Out of your life, you want people to look and say, hey, they made a difference. They did something good. They added something positive to the world, right? That's all you can hope for, especially, when you have kids, you want to leave a positive legacy for them just to move forward and whatever. And TK is going to bow out on that. That's okay. Speaking of dropping like flies, there goes his Wi-Fi. Anyway, Ryan, what is on your mind right now? I before we get out of here, I just want to get your parting thoughts.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I wanted to take a moment to talk about something that's been on my mind for quite a while. I know it's going to feel like a sharp turn because all season long I've strictly, stayed in the football lane. But every year around this time, I say the same thing. I'm not going to break that pattern today. So, in the world, the Super Bowl isn't just the biggest sporting event of the year. It's also the biggest distraction of the year. Millions of people, locked in with their eyes glued to the spectacle, while meanwhile, the darkest parts of society operate within the shadows. Super Bowl Sunday has become a day when human trafficking spikes tremendously, when the people who profit off exploitation take advantage of the chaos and the noise. I'm not bringing this up to shock anyone, nor am I bringing it up because I suddenly decide to care. I'm a former police officer. I've seen it firsthand. I've specifically been involved on cases like this. I've tweeted about, this day of, Super Bowl Sunday for years now, about this topic. It's something that violates my values at its deepest level, and pretending that it doesn't exist just because we love football doesn't sit right with me. Look, I get it. The Super Bowl is the biggest event of the year. It's the modern Coliseum. It's entertainment, it's spectacle, it's escape. Knowing all of that, there's still room to acknowledge that, the same distractions that bring us joy also can be used by people for, with bad intentions. The partial release of the Epstein files is only added to the unease. These documents paint a picture of powerful people operating in the shadows, manipulating systems, and exploiting the vulnerable while, the rest of the society is distracted. Whether every detail is true or not, the simple idea behind these files have shaken people because it suggests that exploitation isn't happening in some distant corner of the world, but right alongside the institutions we trust. And this is a massive event like the Super Bowl rolls around. It becomes impossible not to wonder how much darkness hides behind the bright lights. Human trafficking is real. It's a systemic problem that spikes during major events. And if I have a platform, even a small one, I'm going to use it for 60 seconds to say, pay attention to your surroundings and don't let any noise drown out the truth. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the perfect. I couldn't have said it any better myself. That's really honestly worded perfectly. Yeah, awareness is key. Yeah, Ryan, I think that's just a great point. Sad that it can't just be the Super Bowl, right? We do have to worry. But these things do happen, and they go on every day. Like I said, never stops. I mean, behind the scenes, there's always something terrible happening, and I think the more people are aware of that, hopefully. I mean, one day I don't know. Well, we're average end it, but it would be nice to see it at least down to the bare minimum, to where it's not such a systemic problem, because it is a huge problem.
Right.
Listen, with that being said, obviously pay attention to your surroundings. Go forth and do something positive. Right, leave a legacy. Enjoy the Super Bowl today. Enjoy the commercials, but do be mindful of the fact that there are people that are struggling in so many different ways. Right. And we talk about mental health a lot. That's another way. Listen, if you're feeling a certain way, reach out to someone, talk to someone, get the help that you need. We don't mean to end the show on the downer, but I mean, listen, these are all real world things. These are things that go on. These are real issues, real problems. I think you guys bring up just great points, right? So again, enjoy the Super Bowl. Enjoy the time with your family, your friends, coworkers, whoever you're having a Super Bowl party with. That's great. But do be mindful that those things are happening, and just try to do what you can to be the best person that you can possibly be, and just do something positive in the world. So thank you guys for watching. Again, follow us on social media, find the Inside Edge Network. Make sure you're always set up to be notified when we go live so you don't miss anything. We've got so many shows during the week. Commissioner's Couch will be coming back soon.
Yep.
TK and I have a legal formation. We just had our first guest on yesterday.
Awesome show, by the way.
Thank you so much. It's a great story.
Really
I love stories like that. That's the kind of thing I've always wanted a platform for. Ryan, I mean, like you said, you've got a platform, you're going to use it, right? I love to amplify. That's such a positive story. I mean, someone literally, it's Coach Tomlinson, uproots his whole family, right? Moves to Beaver in Pike County, Ohio, to take over a basketball school and build a football program there. Basically with their own money. They, all the fundraising and all the community involved. You can't do that without an excellent community, first of all, and just some true determination from everyone involved to get that done. And now look, I mean, he's got a 32 regular season game winning streak, rather. They've won the conference 4 years in a row. So you can truly build something out of nothing. I mean, that, and that goes for any aspect of life, not just a high school football program. Like, you can take an idea, have nothing to start with, and build something out of it and do something positive for everyone. So I think that's a great lesson to just kind of end with today. So again, enjoy the Super Bowl. Kickoff is at 6:30. It's going to be on NBC and Peacock. I don't know. I mean, if you have a dog in the fight, good luck. I know it's probably nerve-wracking. I have no idea what that feels like. I've never had a team in the Super Bowl, really. I mean, I was a casual Raiders fan when they played, but that's not the same as being like a diehard, right? So whatever. Just enjoy the Super Bowl. Again, please do something positive. And if you see someone struggling around you, do your best to help in any way that you can. So thank you guys for watching our sport. It's our Sunday sports show. It's our Super Bowl 60 Sunday sports show, the Super Sunday sports show, as it were, right here on the Inside Edge Network. Again, we're brought to you by LPV Productions. We appreciate every single one of you. Almost 200 people in here live now. Thanks for making us the spot for you to. I mean, there's all kinds of things. So you can watch Super Bowl previews on any channel right now. You can watch anything. So you can be. So again, just all the stuff on the Inside Edge Network is amazing. I can't even name every show, but again, just make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure you like us, follow, whatever, on every social media platform so you don't miss anything. Again, they're not all hour and a half, 2 hour shows. There's a lot of short form content on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook Reels, shorter videos going up on X. A lot of people have plenty to say and on this network, and there's a lot of people that just come from a place of great intelligence or a great experience or whatever it is. You don't want to miss any of that. So please follow us and interact with us. We want to hear what you think. That's all. Just enjoy Super Bowl Sunday, guys, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.